Another heat of the qualifying championship and the odds-on favourite Whirly Dream.
On their racing, Whirly Dream away quickly. He's in search of the lead. At the moment, Incandescent holding him out comfortably. Chapel James going forward. Mount Cobbler caught 4 wide, leaving the straight. Whirly Dream now easing and getting through the field as Kentuck. There's a nice piece of driving early. Fine Pine back on the fence, followed by White Steel, Adios Moth, Eddie Armour, times run out, and What a Prospect drops out to last. In the back the first time, off the second row, Kentuck now attacking Incandescent for the lead, and Kentuck takes over at the 1650 from Incandescent. Whirly Dream the favourite, working pretty hard early. He's planted 3 wide. He's about to work 1 off the fence, followed by White Steel, then Fine Pine on the inside, 2 metres to Eddie Armour. Times run out, 4 back on the outside, followed by What a Prospect. 5 metres to Adios Moth, second last Mount Cobbler, and 2 metres away Chapel James. On the home turn at the 1150, Kentuck is clear by 5 metres to Whirly Dream. Racing on the outside of Incandescent, White Steel with the perfect sit. Fine Pine 3 back on the fence, followed by Eddie Armour on the outside. On its back as times run out, followed by What a Prospect the fence, then Mount Cobbler. Adios Moth second last, and 4 metres away Chapel James. At the winning post, a lap out. Kentuck's had a pretty good run. He's gone fairly quickly by 4 metres to Whirly Dream, having no luck second, moving up a shade closer. Third placing on the leader's back is Incandescent. White Steel's had a beautiful run, followed by Fine Pine the inside. Then What a Prospect, moving up, times run out. He's 4 back on the outside. He hasn't spent a penny, followed by Mount Cobbler, Adios Moth, and 4 metres to Chapel James last, and 1 off the fence. In the back of the 600, it's still Kentuck by 2.5 metres to Whirly Dream. Third placing Incandescent, followed by White Steel. Eddie Armour on its back, the first one to peel as times run out. Fine Pine back on the fence, followed by What a Prospect. Then Adios Moth, Mount Cobbler, and 2 metres to Chapel James. At the 400, nearly a line of 3. Kentuck being collared by Whirly Dream on the outside. A metre away, White Steel coming at the pair 3 wide. Times run out, will have to go 4 wide. Eddie Armour 1 off the fence from Incandescent, Fine Pine, What a Prospect, and Adios Moth. They straighten at the 200. Whirly Dream in the centre puts his nose in front of Kentuck. White Steel down the outside, followed by Times Run Out, starting to storm home on the outside. He's coming home all over the top of them. Times Run Out, he grabbed the lead with 60 metres to go, and Times Run Out has won by 3 metres. Eddie Armour's run second, a half head in front of White Steel. Whirly Dream close up, had no luck. Adios Moth wider out, then Fine Pine. Kentuck knocked up from Chapel James, then Mount Cobbler, Incandescent, and What a Prospect last.
Well, as the song says, another one bites the dust. Whirly Dream down at 10 to 9 on, out of a place. Times run out, finishing well at 7 to 2 to beat Eddie Armour 25s and White Steel at 12 to 1. And so we came to the big race of the night, the Winfield Cup. Over 2,400 metres, $70,000 in prize money. It's been won by some marvellous horses over the years, and of course the mighty Popular Armours won the race in the previous 2 years before last night's running. It was a quality field. The Kilmore Cup winner, Raging Bull, was in it. Caramere Duplicity, who so brilliantly won a heat of the Australian Pacing Championship recently. And also horses the calibre of Wandai's Mate, who is a tremendous horse from Queensland, and his record speaks for itself. Panion, who's been taking all before him, and also the Western Australian horse Sinn Fein. But the one they were all talking about, and the one who started odds-on favourite, was Pro Chevalier. Now, this horse came over with a huge reputation from Western Australia. Some of his performances have been amazing, and he was going for 20 wins in a row, and he was sent to the post the long odds-on favourite in the Winfield Cup.
On their racing, Pro Chevalier away quickly with Caramere Duplicity, Otani, Thor Skipper, Raging Bull. Nearly 5 in line coming off the back. Royal 3 easing in behind them, followed by Sinn Fein. Back in behind them, Crystal Glenmar, followed by Wandai's Mate. Panion second last, and 6 metres away, Gallant Thor. Well, from the pole, here's a surprise. Raging Bull leads from Thor Skipper. Pro Chevalier going forward now 3 wide. Caramere Duplicity 4 wide on the turn the first time. Sinn Fein 3 wide. Thor Skipper 1 off the fence. Wandai's Mate moving up to be third on the leader's back, as Pro Chevalier now moves up to be second, and Sinn Fein taking on Raging Bull of the judge with 2 circuits to go. They're matching strides by 6 metres to Pro Chevalier, as Raging Bull retains the lead. Wandai's Mate back on the fence, then Thor Skipper, followed by Caramere Duplicity, still 3 wide. Gallant Thor moves up on the fence, followed by Otani. In behind them, Crystal Glenmar, Royal 3, and Panion drops out to the tail. In the back straight, they've completed the first lap. It's Raging Bull by 2 metres to Sinn Fein. One Die's mate third. Fourth on the outside, Pro Chevalier in the perfect set. Gallant Thor back on the fence, followed by Thor Skipper. 5 metres to Royal 3, followed by Otani, Crystal, Glenmar, Caramir, Duplicity. And last and one off the fence, Panion, some 40 metres off the lead. Coming off the back of the 1200, they've gone fairly quickly. Raging Bull by 3 metres to Sinn Fein, sitting up second without cover. One Die's mate third. Fourth on the outside, Pro Chevalier. Then Gallant Thor, followed by Thor Skipper. From the tail now, Panion starting to creep around the outside, 3 wide. He's looking for cover, followed by Royal 3. Then Otani, Crystal, Glenmar, and Caramir, Duplicity latching onto the back of Panion. At the judge, 1 circuit to go in the Winfield Pacing Cup. The race right on. Raging Bull collared by Sinn Fein the outside. Pro Chevalier now peeling 3 wide. He makes a line of 3. Then Thor Skipper, followed by One Die's mate as they head to the back after the bell. Panion getting to 4-2 midfield, followed by Otani. In behind them, Gallant Thor, followed by Caramir, Duplicity, Royal 3, and 2 metres away, Crystal, Glenmar. In the back of the 600, and Sinn Fein forged to the lead by 2 metres to Pro Chevalier, moving up to be second. Raging Bull under a lot of pressure. Panion going forward. Then Thor Skipper, followed by One Die's mate, coming one off the fence. In behind them, Otani, followed by Caramir, Duplicity, Gallant Thor, Crystal, Glenmar, and Royal 3. Approaching the turn at the 300, and Pro Chevalier found 3 metres to Sinn Fein. Panion gets to second. He's the immediate threat. Then Thor Skipper, followed by One Die's mate and Raging Bull. Around the turn of the 200, and the Frog got away. Pro Chevalier, he's 6 metres in front. Panion gets to second. He's chasing keenly. One Die's mate making ground down the outside, but Pro Chevalier drawing away with 120 metres to go, and 20 on end coming up for Pro Chevalier. He wins by 8 metres. Panion second, 4 metres away third, One Die's mate. Then Sinn Fein, followed by Otani, Gallant Thor. In behind them, Crystal, Glenmar, Royal 3, Raging Bull, Thor Skipper, and last Caramir, Duplicity.
Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he? Pro Chevalier, 9-4 on, defeating Panion. An excellent run second at 16-1. Third, One Die's mate at 8-1 in the Winfield Cup. And we'll be taking a special look at the Winfield Cup a little bit later on in World of Sport. Back with the last 3 races from the Valley last night in just a moment.